Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to demonstrate the usage of the multi-leg execution functions which have been rolled out by the Stoxo team. These have been rolled out over the past week and currently they can be executed using the Stoxo's local web server. We shall try and look at the functions in some detail over this video, and this would also probably give an idea to the user as to how one could take advantage of them in their day-to-day trading basis. These new functions can provide a user with unparalleled control over their execution and in fact reshape their execution pipeline as to how they're currently executing via native bridge and how these functions provide more granular control. So without further ado, let's begin the video. Let me introduce myself before we proceed further. This video on the Stoxos YouTube channel is a bit different from what one is used to seeing. As in the sense that the usual content is made by the Algobaba team. But this is the first time me, a Stoxo user, will be presenting. My name is Fani Krishna and I'm an entrepreneur who also enjoys trading. If you're interested in learning more about me, that is my Twitter handle, wherein you can follow me and probably learn more about me. In this video, I'm thrilled to share about my personal experiences and perspectives on using Stoxo from a user standpoint. And my emphasis would be on deployment of Stoxo purely from an execution standpoint. Some personal context about me: I've been involved in trading since 2018 and I've been algorithmically trading since late 2019. While I'm not a full-time trader, my primary focus has always been mostly on algorithmic trading, utilizing a combination of NinjaTrader and Stoxo being the bridge that connects my signals to the execution. For those who may not be familiar, NinjaTrader is a trading platform based on C#, which I have been using to generate trade signals. And this NinjaTrader is the basis of my automated systems. And it is particularly powerful, especially if one wants to take advantage of volume profile and order flow metrics. At this juncture, I wish to note that my usage of NinjaTrader or my coverage of NinjaTrader for this demonstration is just a personal preference, and it is in no way an endorsement of the platform. It is just my personal choice. So coming back to the topic, since 2019, I have delved deep into the world of algo trading. Before discovering Stoxo, I experimented or I have used various third-party bridge softwares. Today, in the current day, we are spoiled for multiple execution platforms, but it was not the case back when Stoxo started. There were desktop-based execution platforms, one or two, which were straight away very, very dumb in comparison to what Stoxo has brought into the picture. I am proud to be amongst the earliest adopters of Stoxo, having used it since its very inception. My experience with it has always been overwhelmingly positive, and I'm delighted to say that I haven't encountered any issues over the years, barring for one or two login issues, which were very, very negligent. Stoxo appealed to me initially for its innovative features, which were previously only accessible to very advanced coders, and institutional algorithmic features that were not present at the retail level. It stood out in comparison to other bridges, and it was way ahead of its time. With other platforms in comparison lacked the sophistication and the sheer capabilities of Stoxo as a platform. I additionally want to clarify that this video is not a paid collaboration or something that is directed at elevating Stoxo. It is just my honest attempt at enlightening the users, particularly the users that belong to the niche use case of using Stoxo just for execution, in a way that the users that are primarily using Stoxo for native bridge execution capabilities. I also want to clarify that This video is not a paid collaboration with Stoxo or Algobaba. It is just my honest attempt to enlighten the users, particularly those users belonging to the niche of using Stoxo just for native execution. The opinions and biases expressed in this video are purely my own, and it may not necessarily reflect those of Algobaba, the company behind Stoxo, and shouldn't be construed as the company's official take on the subject. Now that we have the personal information out of the way, let me add further context or relevance of Stoxo and my observations on Stoxo evolution and how my perception of Stoxo and on a whole Stoxo's ecosystem has evolved. First off, the video assumes that you're a user of Stoxo, or at least you're familiar with how the multi-leg module works and the various toggles and options like targets, SLs, and leg SLs, on target actions, etc. Because these topics are not going to be covered in this video. And if you're very new to Stoxo or unfamiliar with it, please go through the Stoxo YouTube channel for tutorial videos. And also please spend time in their very well documented and exhaustive help documents. That will help you familiarize with Stoxo. So in the past 3 years that I've been using Stoxo for, it has evolved from being a standalone execution software which bridges the trading platforms to brokers. It has evolved into a comprehensive ecosystem that now encompasses, backtesting, tick level granular data by its sister software Backenzo. And it has also evolved into a signal generation software on its own, Stoxo. And the multi-leg execution was taken care of by Stoxo from start to finish. But despite the advanced nature of this multi-leg module with its extensive controls and features, I've been somewhat hesitant to fully embrace it due to my preference being a chart based or a trading platform based trader. My preference has always been to be in control for my trade entries, which tend to be dynamic, because since these are not based on time, or on a given day, a signal can arrive at any time based on that day's price action and other parameters that construct an entry or exit signal. These tend to be in contrast with the time-based strategies, which Stoxo has extensive control over. And although these time-based strategies can also be made dynamic due to the various post-entry and re-executions and those kind of triggers, I personally have a preference of executing it through charts and the signals being in the control of the signals. By this, I don't mean to undermine the effectiveness of time-based strategies. It is simply a matter of personal choice. Due to this preference for direct controls, I and likely many others like me who share my approach have been slow or they're reluctant to embrace the multi-leg module. But the module, we have been longing for having finer control over the execution over rather than just using it as a standalone native bridge. And let us now proceed to the functional part of the Stoxo. And at this point of video, I would like to clarify the target audience for this video. The features which we'll discuss may require some level of coding knowledge or some level of assistance from professional coders to fully take advantage of this added granularity that these new functions do provide. The video is particularly suited for Stoxo's native bridge users. If you're already using Stoxo's function calls in your strategy, you'll find that these new functions offer enhanced control over the trade legs and access to the advanced features of Stoxo's multi-leg module. And the second set of users that could benefit from these functions are the users that are seeking to automate indicator or chart-based setups. Whether you're currently using Stoxo or not, you can either set up automation yourself, depending on your proficiency, or seek assistance from professional coders. The third set of people that would also benefit from this are discretionary traders who are right now using third-party tools for, enter spreads, part book, re-enter, shed some legs, square off some legs, do some discretionary actions, but without having to access a broker. So it is just like a tooltip approach. And this video might not be as relevant for users that are having fully automated algos, the end-to-end automation that takes care of execution and all the edge cases from the broker. So because you're already doing it yourself, it may not add additional benefit to you. And the second set of users that may not be as beneficial are users that are strictly using multi-leg module, that are having backtested strategies from backends or any other backtesting platforms, and you're comfortable, you're good enough, you're good to go. So for those set of users as well, these functions are what Stoxo already does them from you. So since we are only interested in executing those functions programmatically, if you're a user that is already executing within the Stoxo ecosystem, it is a redundant video for you. No matter your level of proficiency, just a word of advice and caution: I strongly recommend running all your code with these new functions exclusively in simulator mode until you're fully comfortable and understand the nuances of these functions. It is crucial to avoid risking real money without a complete understanding of how these features operate. I wouldn't straight away go to live where I keep real money at stake. And you shouldn't too, if I were you. Now let's look at invoking these functions. For these functions to work, we need to enable the web server option in Stoxo settings. Post enabling it, the web server usually operates on the port 80 or 21,000 in your local environment. Usually, we should see this kind of information, like the whether the web server is working normally when we visit the respective port in the browser. As on current date, the new functions that have been rolled out can only be utilized via HTTP post or GET methods by calling the said web server. And the native plugins for MeBroker, MetaTrader, NinjaTrader, TradingView haven't been yet updated to invoke these methods via these plugins. Having said that, implementing these new functions in the trading platforms is very straightforward, as most modern platforms and programming languages do support HTTP post and get methods natively. Now we can see an oversimplified overview of how this can be achieved in various scripting languages and platforms. The first one is .NET, and in which we can use this HTTP client class. In Python, we use the request library. This is for Node.js. MeBroker has a function that uses HTTP post. MeBroker has a function that can be used to invoke HTTP post. Likewise, we have functions for TradingView should be possible. MetaTrader 4 and 5, NinjaTrader, everything has a way to invoke these HTTP get and post methods. I wouldn't delve deep into it, and today I would be explaining it from a NinjaTrader perspective, which should also be similar to all of these scripting languages. The first step would be to add a portfolio to multi-leg module. It is just an empty portfolio wherein it can be added via V1 or V2 portfolio. It doesn't matter. It can be added on both. So for this demonstration purpose, we are just going to add a short straddle with just one lot, and it doesn't matter as to what lots we keep here, because if we send a quantity via the signal, so that takes precedence. Here too, the underlying and the target and stop loss were kept very wide, considering Nifty 500 points is far away. But it is to demonstrate that we can override this, or we can update this over the course of the execution. Likewise, the combined premium and the combined stop loss is also placed at very high levels, just so that I could demonstrate that we can update it at a later point of time. So for now, we have kept the combined target to be 5 lakhs and combined loss to be about 2.5 lakhs. And I've named this straddle. So now that all of these parameters are keyed in, we just save the portfolio and we proceed to NinjaTrader. So within NinjaTrader, I've coded an indicator wherein all of these functions are encoded via a button. So in this button, we have an option to invoke the entry and find the portfolio status, part, enter and exit, and find portfolio MTM, portfolio details, modify RMS parameters, adding. We shall develop an entry and probably finding out the portfolio status, MTM, and an exit in the initial part, and we'll go and see the method signatures and see what we have done post this. So I'm hitting entry, and since we have named the portfolio Straddle, so Stoxo will add the source of the name. So since we sent an HTTP via HTTP, so it adds HTTP as a superscript, and it also adds a number to the name. So for the straddle, now I passed an input quantity of 80 lots, and if you see, 80 lots were placed. And we will try and fetch the portfolio MTM. So at that moment, it was 2800, and which was what would probably be reflected at the portfolio level. So you can fetch the strategy level MTM and trail it if you need. So you need not rely on Stoxo for it to trail, and you can get the portfolio and initiate a trail SL or any customizations that you require. Now, if you see, like, you'd also try and fetch the portfolio details. So you could actually see, like, what are the strikes and what was the average filled quantity. Say if your charting terminal has one quantity and one average price, you would actually reconcile on a real time basis as to what was your entry price and what were the slippages like, and you could adjust your leg SLs or targets accordingly. So having control over what legs are executed, and if need be, if any of the leg got squared off, it will also reflect that. So again, we have queried MTM, and we have also hit the exit button. So it exited the portfolio. If you look at the NinjaTrader output. So now let's take a look at the functions that we have called, and get an idea of what was done. See, in the video that just ended, we have actually invoked entry functions. Entry can be invoked through either place multi-leg order or place multi-leg order advanced functions. They take the below inputs, wherein you have to pass your strategy name, which in our case is straddle, which it should be the same name as what we have passed, what we have placed in the multi-leg module. Other than that, the portfolio legs, the combined profit, combined loss, leg target, these are all finer controls which you can optionally pass the finer control. In return, you would get a portfolio name, which is a string variable. This portfolio name you're supposed to say, and this is the name that you will be passing to the subsequent functions, where if you wish to modify, or if you wish to get the portfolio status, say. So we get a name from Stoxo, wherein this is the name that your portfolio got executed with, and that is the input parameter that you will be passing to this function. In return, you will get the possible values as to what is the live status, whether it is disabled, stopped, pending, monitoring, started, or under execution. Whatever be the possible value, you will get that portfolio status in return. The next function we have called is the IV portfolio legs function, which actually fetches the legs, the actual legs that are placed in the portfolio. So in this, you mandatorily you should pass the option portfolio name which we saved earlier, and the second is a boolean, wherein it could be the second all function can just be passed as a yes or no function. In return, you would get the leg details in the leg format, which I'll be discussing. So these in the leg format, if there are multiple legs, they'll be separated by double pipes, or if it is a single leg, they'll be separated by pipes. And the next function we called is to fetch the portfolio MTM. So wherein again mandatorily you should pass the option portfolio name which we have saved, and same like the previous function, we pass an all a yes or no string. In return, for which if we pass yes, we will get all the legs MTM of all the open and closed legs. If we pass no, we would only get MTM for those legs in which you would those are live. And the exit multi-leg order is also similar to the previous function, wherein you just pass the option portfolio name, and you just have to pass it, and you will get a true or false boolean, which indicates leg is a portfolio is exited or not. So these are the functions we just invoked. Let us execute the strategy one more time. This time I'll take an entry, and we'll also test the part entry, part exits, and modify SLs. So we have again entered a fresh portfolio. We have closed the previous portfolio. Now, as you can see, we have created a new portfolio wherein the current portfolio is straddle number 3. So we have entered 80 lots as before. And you see here the quantity also reflects the 4,000 absolute quantity, which we are also getting after fetching the portfolio details, which the function which we have just discussed. So now I'll take a part entry. By default, I coded it to take 50% of whatever is the quantity that is already there. So 4,000, another 2,000 gets added, which is 6,000. And one more time we pressed, so 6,000, 50% of 6,000, another 3,000 gets added. Now we are exiting 50%. So the 9,000, within the 9,000, we're exiting half of the quantity, which is 4,500. So now I've also press the portfolio status, which says it is under execution, and we are querying the MTLs. So if you can see the portfolio MTM here, reflects what we are getting from stock. So into the Ninja Reader. Now we'll also modify the SL. So if you remember, we kept an SL of we'll modify a target. So we kept a target of 5 lakhs, and I've coded such that it modifies to 1 lakh on the portfolio. And if you see the response, we got the combined target was updated from 5 lakhs to 1 lakh. Now we are adding another leg, wherein by default I coded such that we add 50 legs of plus 100. So if we are trading 21,650, we are taking an entry in 21,750 C. So I've added the leg 3 times, so making the quantity 150. I've even squared off the first leg. So these are the demonstrations of addition of a leg and square off, and I've squared off the whole of the portfolio. So all of the responses you can see in the Ninja script output. So in this in the just concluded video, we've part entered and part exited. So here both the functions are similar in their signature, wherein you have to pass the portfolio name as a mandatory parameter. You can pass the leg serial number as an optional parameter. You can pass the leg serial number or the leg details, the leg identifier, and you need to pass the quantity, which is again a string here. So here you could pass the absolute, like let's say if you have 50 lots, so you can specify 50 lots, or like I just did, you can specify a percentage, so which would also get accommodated in a string. So this 50% would actually exit the 50% quantity and stuff. In return, you would get a boolean whether the part entry or part exit has been successful or not, in a true or false kind of statement. Another function we have invoked is the IB add leg function, which adds a leg. So part entry and part exit would enter or exit the whole of the legs, but here you can specifically add a leg and square off leg. In square off leg, you could specifically square off a leg. So the add leg actually you have to pass these 2 parameters, wherein the first one is again like all, you have to pass the option portfolio name. The second one is the leg. So the leg format which you have to pass is actually in this format, wherein the first 3 parameters, you have to specify the strike, you have to specify the transaction, whether it is sell or buy, you have to specify the instrument, whether it is a C and P. The rest all are optional. You can pass them or not, depending on your requirement. And the leg format, you have to give a pipe separated by the parameters, which you can check the help document. So you can give the target and SL, and you can construct the leg, and you can add it. If you want to add more than one leg, you have to call this twice. So in return, you will get a boolean which says whether your adding leg was true or false. Square of leg is also similar to add leg with a slight variation. Like add leg, option portfolio name is mandatory here too. Leg is also mandatory here. But however, when it comes to the leg details, here you can only pass certain values, not the entire leg string, because there is already an added leg that you are squaring off here. So you can just straight away pass the serial number of the leg which you got from the portfolio details. Or if you are not sure about the serial number, or if you want to specifically square off all CEs in your portfolio, or all PEs in your portfolio, you need not even pass the serial number. You can just pass the instrument, if it is a CE or PA. So regardless of the strike, if you just pass the instrument as CE in the leg details, it will square off all the CE or all the PE depending on what you pass. You can pass either the serial number or the instrument, or as a third option, you can pass the leg details, which comprises of, you should probably pass the transaction, the sell or buy, strike, expiry. So yeah, if you're passing the leg details, you can pass these details without the need for a serial number, or you can even pass the serial number even in the leg details. So there is freedom for how you wish to square off a leg. This is basically the leg format details which you're supposed to pass whenever you're adding a leg or squaring off a leg. So the leg details are again specified in the StockSo format. In the StockSo help document, with these columns, or these columns that are supposed to be concatenated as a string. They should be separated by a pipe. Whenever you're passing a leg details, these three parameters would be mandatory: strike, transaction, and instrument. The rest all are optional depending on your use case, and if you wish to take an entry in a different expiry for a calendar type of strategy or something, so you're free to specify. You can pass the dates in the format, or you can pass the dynamic values like current week, next week, or those kind of things. Lots and all, you can either pass from your strategy, or if you don't, it would take the lots that were mapped in your stocks or multi-leg module. Likewise, hedge, wait and trade, target, and SL. These are all optional and depends on your use case and your strategy. I hope this clarifies and gives you a fair idea of how these new functions give you more control over what it is that you wish to trade and how you wish to trade. So, with that being said, I'll just show you a ChatGPT kind of AI assistant which could generate a script, and that is how, even though I'm a beginner in Python, just by prompting and iteratively prompting and giving the stock source help documents references, I was able to construct a Streamlit app or dashboard which you effectively can replicate what I have done in NinjaTrader. This script would be attached in the description of the video, and if you wish, you can download and go to the code and execute it yourself, and maybe get a hands-on feel of the new functions and see how they work for you and stuff. So here is what the ChatGPT transcript I've used and how I kept iterating on it. And at the end of the day, it does the heavy lifting for you and gives you the script in a ready to download manner, and you just have to execute it. So everything becomes a breeze. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you.